News for people who can't stand the news.
Arizona looks fishy. Oh yeah, Arizona looked fishy. Like a seafood market when all the ice melted. In a hot summer day in D.C., sticky, humid, 103-degree day. That's right. Smells fishy. I'm Tim Black. Let's talk about Arizona primaries and how Clinton and company rigged this election. That's right. That's what I believe happened. I have an article I want to share with you that lists 5 ways that voting was suppressed in the Arizona primary. Now, this article was by U.S. Uncut. Let's get down to it. Number 1, lines were so long people had to wait an entire work day in line to vote. In Maricopa County in 2012, which is the most populous county in Arizona, they had over 200 polling places open on primary day. That's in 2012. In 2016, the number was reduced to just 60. Can we stop there and just call this thing, a win? Ding, 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 ding. Do you expect me to believe that's an accident? Like this just happened. No one intended to shut down 3/4 of the polling locations. Listen to this. Put it in perspective for you. In 2012, the primary had about 300,000 voters and 200 polling places. Last night, we had an estimated 800,000 voters in only 60 polling places. Divide 800,000 into 60. That's why people waited 4.5 hours to 5.5 hours to vote. We're talking lines that stretch the distance of upwards of a half a mile. Some people can't wait that long. Voter suppression. Number 2, voter suppression in Latino neighborhoods. Helen Purcell, which is the chief of the elections, I believe, Helen Purcell's, her mad dash to consolidate polling locations across Maricopa County resulted in forgetting polling places in densely populated Latino communities. This is a glaring oversight considering that 40% of Phoenix's 1.5 million residents are Latino. Who's this? State Senator Martin Quezada told Arizona Central that the lack of available polling locations for the Latino community was problematic. Oh, sir, Martin, it's more than problematic. It's strategic. In my neighborhood district, LD 30, there are no polling places. They missed entire neighborhoods. Number 3, Democrats mistakenly registered as independents and given provisional ballots. I saw videos of this one myself. In Arizona's closed primary system, independent voters are denied their voice by having to vote with a provisional ballot. But what voters classified as independent who cast provisional ballots don't realize is that their ballots are never counted. Listen to this. One man who's a lifelong Democrat who was listed as an independent, he left the precinct. He went home to his house, came back with a card showing he's a Democrat, registered Democrat. But when I called the election center, they told me to just give him a provisional ballot anyway. His vote will not be counted. Now listen, here's the thing. Given that one of Bernie Sanders' largest bases of voter supports comes from independents, wow, guess what? There's no wonder why he may have lost Arizona. You suppress independents, and independents are his strongest core of voters, which, by the way, there are more independents in the United States than there are Democrats or Republicans. They are disenfranchising the largest group of voters in the country. Number 4. Oh, this is rich. This is old school right here. This right here, this has Bill Clinton written all over it. I'm surprised we don't have his fingerprints on this one. Listen, suspicious evacuations of county buildings at peak voting times. You know, the old, there's a bomb. No, you're not the bomb. There is a bomb. Get out. 4 locations in Tucson received bomb threats on Tuesday. On Tuesday? On Tuesday. Not on Monday, not on Sunday, not last Friday. Not today, on Tuesday. Coincidental? You go ahead. 4 locations in Tucson received bomb threats on Tuesday, so the building was evacuated as a precaution. At the time of the evacuation, the Pima County Recorder's Office had been staffing a voter helpline to answer questions about voter eligibility, polling locations, and other voting-related issues. So people who would normally call in and say, hey, I need some help, they had no one to help them. But this is all supposed to be coincidental. Number 5, calling Arizona for Hillary Clinton while people were still in line. Isn't this the most disrespectful, hateful, callous thing you could possibly do to someone who's been in line for hours waiting to vote? You call the election with not 20% in, 1% of votes tabulated. They called the election for Hillary Clinton while people were still in line. You're going to have to do the math on this one. At roughly 8:30 p.m. local time, a little over an hour after the polls closed, with less than 1% of precincts reporting, the Associated Press declared Hillary Clinton the winner of the Arizona primary. That's right. Why did they take so long to call Idaho and Utah? They wanted to make sure all you kiddies were nice in bed, tucked in bed, sleep. That's why. They didn't want you to go to bed thinking that Bernie had a shot at this thing. With 1% of the votes counted, with probably over 1 million disenfranchised. A premature declaration of victory for one candidate may discourage thousands of people still waiting in line from voting only around 1% counted in. So as a result of all this, many on social media are crying foul over the incompetent primary process. A WhiteHouse.gov petition has been launched calling on the Obama administration to investigate the claims of voter suppression during the Arizona primary. The White House is obligated to all petitions that garner over 100,000 signatures to look into it. I'm going to put that in the description box below. Listen, folks, we have to make sure that we do not take this lying down. This is a theft of our democracy. This is bankrupt ethics. And I keep telling you guys over and over, when people say, Tim, why are you Bernie or bust? I do not believe it's possible that all of these things happened on primary day in Arizona by accident. They want you to believe that. They call me skeptical. They call me in the tank or whatever. But they want you to believe that 5 different things happened, all converged on this one voting location, this one state, to cause this disenfranchisement of people is just coincidental. You know, stuff happens. No. Stuff doesn't happen. Stuff happened because people did it. And I don't want to hear the whole thing of incompetence. Oh, but they're incompetent. It's just incompetence. No, it's not incompetence. It's in collusion. It's scripted, premeditated disenfranchisement, voter suppression in Arizona to steal the primary away from Bernie Sanders. And this is what I need, guys. I need us to make sure today, when Cenk Uygur and the TYT is interviewing Bernie Sanders, they need to make sure they mention this. So please, tweet this. Tweet this to TYT, the Cenk Uygur, the TYT network. Let them know. We need them to acknowledge this, to pose the question to Bernie Sanders. We need action on this. This is a stealing of our democracy. This is hypocrisy. This is against the core tenets of what our system is built on. Do me a favor. I need you to tweet to TYT and to Cenk Uygur. Hashtag Arizona was stolen. Arizona was stolen. Let's tweet that to them. Let's get them to act on this. We need every voice, man. We cannot take a line down. If we take this line down, we deserve what we get. We got to stand up to this. This cannot go unanswered. We must demand answers.